Hey guys, welcome to another video. It is top 5 favourite directors in my opinion. Got a few honourable mentions here. These probably gonna be a regular thing in videos, honourable mentions, as a lot of people are doing them and it is an effective thing to have in. So first is Judd Apatow, who I love all of his films that I've seen. I think he's hilarious. His films are just, I mean, some of them are just in my top, don't know what I'd put them in, probably top 20 comedies of all time. There's a lot of his in there. I mean, Get Him to the Greek is in my top 20 of all time. All films, not just comedies. I mean, I love that film. I think his comedies, his humour is just how I like mine. He has some of my favourite actors in them, like Seth Rogen is usually in them, Jonah Hill, Jason Segel, Russell Brand, all actors that I really like. So that's why he's in there. Next is Danny Boyle, who I was going to have in the top 5, but someone else I thought of I think deserves it more. Danny Boyle, I don't love his films, but he does have a lot of films that I enjoy, like Sunshine, 28 Days Later, and his best film by far, he's got to be 127 Hours. I mean, I think he did Trance, yeah, which I haven't seen. I am hopefully going to see that at some point. I mean, I just think he's got a way about him that, that a lot of people will want to, I guess. I mean, don't know if that's the right way, but he has a way of making films that attracts people's attentions, and that's what you want in a film director, to get people who want to watch your films, really. Otherwise, what's the point? Next is Matthew Vaughn, who, based on Kick-Ass, Kick-Ass 2 and X-Men First Class, which all fantastic films, by the way. I'm a bit disappointed that he's not doing Days of Future Past, but I mean, we'll see how that is. I mean, it's on. I'm going to be doing a list that's going to be on about anticipated films, which hopefully that'll be done within the week, probably tomorrow or Friday if I have time. I mean, he's produced a lot of films that I probably have seen, like Layer Cake. I have Snatch down there, which he produced. So I mean, he's got a lot of talent, obviously. So that's why he's just missed out, because I haven't seen a lot of his films, and he hasn't got a lot of films, I don't think. He's doing the new Fantastic Four, which, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with that. I mean, I haven't seen the other two and don't particularly have any intentions to, but I mean, a reboot is, with him doing it, I mean, he's bound to do a good job at least. And the final honourable mention is Nicholas Winding Refn, based on Bronson, Only God Forgives and Drive. 3 fantastic films. I mean, the thing I like about Nicholas Winding Refn is he has a style that's like dark and mysterious, and you can't help but have to use your brain a lot in his films. I mean, he's very talented. I want to see Valhalla Rising. I've heard that's good. I mean, hopefully he'll be coming out with a lot more films, because I think he needs to get more films that are out nowadays. I mean, he's done a few, like The Pusher, I think it's called, which I don't know when it came out, but I mean, to see him do new films, I mean, I'll think it'll be really exciting to see what he can do. So, top 5. Number 5 is Joss Whedon, because 2 films that stand out are Cabin in the Woods and Avengers, because they are 2 of my, I'd say, top 50, definitely. I mean, I knew he was talented from his TV shows like Dollhouse, which is one of my favourite TV shows. Um, Buffy, which has got loads of success, and I do like that as well. Um, I don't know. What was it? With Avengers: Age of Ultron coming out, I think it's 2015. I'm not too sure on that. Very excited for that. I think he just has a way about him that you just, when you're watching a film, you know it's by him, if it is him who's done it, obviously. You can just tell he has a unique way of doing things. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think gets a lot of stick that he doesn't deserve, just because it's not an Avengers film every week, which would be just stupid in my opinion. I think he's done what he's right with it, to focus on secondary characters, and I mean, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I have kind of grown into it more as it's gone along, and looking forward to the second part when it comes out. So that's number 5, and I'm going to pick a favourite film for each top 5 director. So my favourite Joss Whedon film is Cabin in the Woods, because it just surprised me when I saw it. I thought this is going to be very average, if that, and watched it and absolutely loved it. I've watched it again since, loved it again. It just beats the Avengers because I kind of expected to like Avengers. So that's why that's number 5. Is number 5, sorry. Number 4, I had debates about this director, because he's a bit hit and miss sometimes, but it's Quentin Tarantino. Basically because he's got, again, another style that I like, with Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. I'm sure I'm missing some here, but yeah, I mean, I love his films. I mean, I haven't seen what's it called now, Django Unchained, but I've heard brilliant things about it, and I hopefully will get to see it at some point. Again, he's just got a thing about him that you can tell you're watching one of his films. They are dark, they are kind of gory if you go on Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, and they are kind of, I don't know what the word is for it, it's kind of like 90s style. I mean, they're usually set in the like 90s and that kind of film. Probably because the war, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, I like the style of it. It's very retro, that's what the word I think I'm going for. And I mean, I just can't fault these films. I mean, maybe he could do more on like character development, because they kind of are just there and you don't know much about them. Like with Reservoir Dogs, you only know a little bit about each character, and it's kind of like, well, here they are, what's going on, and then it's done. But Reservoir Dogs is a film that it doesn't really have a point to it, but it is a brilliant film, so that's why he's on there. And my favourite Quentin Tarantino film, it was between this and Reservoir Dogs, and I'm going to go Pulp Fiction, simply because I just love every character in it pretty much. I mean, the storylines that intertwine with each other is just brilliant. I like the style of it as well. It isn't too over the top like an action kind of film. It's borderline on action, and I don't know what else I'd call it. I mean, it's kind of unique, but I love that kind of film, and it's mainly Quentin Tarantino that does those kinds, like Reservoir Dogs and the others I've mentioned. So he's number 4. Number 3 is Martin Scorsese, because I mean, I consider him a legend. Goodfellas, Casino, Raging Bull. I think he did Carlito's Way. I'm not 100% certain on that. I mean, I think he has a very good brain for filmmaking. I mean, his ideas are second to none. He's very clever the way he does things. I'm saying there a lot, but yeah. Taxi Driver is another film that I want to see because I've heard it's probably his best one, which, from the looks of it, I do think I like it. And he does have a thing for working with Robert De Niro, who is a very, very talented actor. You can't deny that. I'm gonna go for Goodfellas as my favourite Martin Scorsese film because I haven't seen Taxi Driver, and I've seen Gangs of New York and a few others of his films, but I just think Goodfellas is a classic, and if you're gonna watch a Scorsese film first to get to know what he's like, just watch Goodfellas, and that just tells you everything you want to know about him. I mean, it just defines him in my opinion. So he's number 3. Number 2 is a director who I didn't know a couple of years ago, but thanks to a friend, I have to say, who, by the way, in the last video I said I'd put his link in the description and it didn't work, so I'll do that in this one. If it doesn't work again, it is Media Monster 95, which is MEDIAMONSTA 95. Go there, watch his videos, give him a like, a subscribe, or whatever. He introduced me to Fight Club, which I loved from the minute I saw it, and then I watched Seven afterwards, and I have to say I prefer Seven, purely because I think the storyline attracted me more, and I like the ending a lot better. The ending is phenomenal. I mean, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because the ending, Kevin Spacey, fantastic, one of his best performances, and he's only in it for a very little while. So yeah, looking forward to seeing some more David Fincher films. I've got a list of ones that I want to check out, but my favourite is gonna have to go to Seven, as I've just said, simply because it is, I can't pick anything wrong with it. Every character is fantastic. John Doe, it is John Doe, isn't it? I hope I'm right with that. Which is the villain. When he comes into it, it just shits the fan. So yeah, and number 1 is going to be Christopher Nolan, obviously. I mean, if you know me, you know how much I love Christopher Nolan's films. I just think he's just a genius when it comes to filmmaking. I mean, the way he makes films, the actors he uses, I mean, his intelligence is just mind-blowing. With The Prestige, Memento, Inception, all really mess with your head. But my favourite has got to go to The Dark Knight. I would say Dark Knight Rises because I did enjoy that more, but The Dark Knight is the film that I think defined what made me start liking Christopher Nolan so much, because it has everything in it, and if you watch that film and don't like it, I think there's got to be something wrong with you. But yeah, so that's the end of the list. I will be doing more videos in future, probably tomorrow, maybe Friday, and they'll come out probably weekly if I can. I'm starting to do reviews, but they're not going to be like new films. I'm going to do reviews on whatever film I've watched recently. Probably going to start with The Shining because I've just watched that now. I'm not going to say all about it because I'll leave it for the review. So please subscribe, give a like if you enjoyed it, and please comment me your favourite directors because I'm interested to know. So I'll see you in another video.